Chale.
So we'll be going live now. I need some musical touch before going live. I love that. So welcome everyone. Good evening, good afternoon from whichever part of the world you have joined us in. And it's a great pleasure for me to have the individual book launch from Creative Writing Modern Age. And our author and writer today is Monjoyee Sarma, Padgiri, an educator, newsreader in Doordarshan, Western music announcer in All India Radio Guwahati program, an anchor, poet, and a writer. And a flair for writing continued as her poems and short stories were often published in several magazines. And recently she has been awarded also as the best poet in one of the competitions, which is very, very prestigious, Youth Hostels Association of India. And there, from throughout the country, Monjoyee Sarma was the first in poetry from Assam. So this was a nationwide competition and she was adjudged the best poet. So we have an amazing poet along with us also, and she is the writer of the book In Pursuit. So before launching the book, we have some eminent personalities also with us who are also you can say they are the stalwarts as authors. So if I start talking about all the eminent guests who have joined us today, Santosh Bakaya, Ramendra Kumar, Tony Cranston, then we have Sincini, who is a poet from Sri Lanka. So we can keep on speaking about them, and the time slot will break up, and we need to have breakup rooms for that to speak about them individually because their collection of books are such. So inviting them to our platform and getting them amidst us, creative writing is really, really honored to have you stalwarts with us, the best-selling authors of Amazon. And we also have Tony Cranston from London, the best-selling author there, several authors of several books, as well as the father of storytelling. So we would just love, before I go into the book launch, which is a wonderful book, as I have read the book, and I would request, this is just the official book launch. The links will be available soon in Amazon, just a few days after, right, Monjoyee?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the links will be available. So we would request all of you to grab a book and read the exciting poems which Monjoyee Sarma has written in that book, explicitly explaining all the aspects of life. So that will be a wonderful way. But before we delve into our author, because we need to know about the book, I would just ask our few eminent best-selling authors a little bit about poetry, and does poetry really relaxes our brain? So Dr. Santosh Bakaya, since she is a poet, I know her over and out, and I've been interviewing her. I think she is my main motivator. I really learn from her all the time. So Dr. Santosh, do you really feel writing poems heals our soul?
Hello. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, wonderful platform, and hearty congratulations to Monjoyee Sarma for her book In Pursuit. And through this book, I learned a lot. Poetry makes things happen. Poetry bonds people, and it is through poetry that I have come across such wonderful people as all of you. And I came to know Ramendra because of poetry. I came to know Ramendra because of what he writes. And I came to know all of you, Rachana Chakravarti. I think it was Ramen who invited me here, because you invited me because of Ramendra, I think. So poetry is something which makes people bond. Poetry is spiritual, it is soul stirring. And I see poetry everywhere. I see poetry in the eyes of people. I see poetry in what Ramendra ji says. And he makes fun of me all the time. And I see poetry there. And I would like a rejoinder from Ramendra to that, but he says that I have two left feet. He repeats what I am saying, and I find poetry there too. So there's poetry everywhere. Poetry is therapeutic. And let me tell you something. When I lost my mother 6 years back, I had fallen into a great abyss, and there was, it felt as if I couldn't write. But then all my friends, they started asking me, why don't you write? Why don't you write? And I wrote a poem after a very long time, and that was on my mother. And that was a sort of, it lifted me from the depths into which I had fallen. So poetry makes things happen. Poetry is therapeutic. Poetry is soul stirring. And I love poetry. I don't consider myself a poet. I'm just a wordsmith. I just love to play with words. And so whatever I write, it comes from the heart. And I believe that something which comes from the heart appeals to people. So therefore it appeals to people. And this book, let me talk about this book, In Pursuit. It's a delightful book. And it was, I went through it, and while I was reading it, I couldn't, my tears just fell, and they fell. I couldn't stop them. And it is this book was extremely soothing with its soft lyrical cadence. I'll talk about that book later on. But poetry is very, very dear to me. Poetry is very close to my heart. And whenever I write, poetry just happens. So I don't have to make any effort. And it suits me, and I believe it suits others too. But I like to write humor too. So humor also does something to you. And maybe it doesn't soothe the soul or something, but it tickles your funny bone. So words do that, Rachana. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that lovely answer. I thought I'll start with you because you have started a lot of new forms of poetry writing, the limericks and all. So that was really more excitement for me to know from you just few lines about poetry and how it really heals. And as I am also a poet, my book was recently launched in Amazon, and I feel a lot of views are also there about the book, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying, but yes, there's still way to go in that. But before I move on to my author and the book launch, I would love to ask Tony sir, who has joined all the way from London. He is the father of storytelling and also an author, established author, published many books, and all for kids. So the genre of writing, sir, if I come to you, that do you really feel, as the book which we are going to launch In Pursuit is having many small elements which has a real relation of a vent out of the soul. So the writing is really going to be a motivating factor. Do we really write to establish ourselves, or do we really write to motivate ourselves? So Tony sir, over to you. Sir, you need to unmute. 1 minute.
Technology. Yes, thank you for having me today. And Monjoyee, your book is wonderful. It really is. And yes, I think we do, to answer your question, we write to motivate ourselves, to kind of do something for ourselves. I don't know if we know it at the time, but when we are writing, it comes from us. It's doing something for us. And we hope that it's doing something for someone else too. That's the general aim of it all. But yes, we're writing for ourselves. And what I liked about your book was, I know there's only 24 poems. I think there's more in you yet to come. I was reading the first one. I thought, yeah, great. Second one, great. But the third one, Charms of Nature. Now, that's not just a poem. That's meditation, which is something I do well, yoga and things like this. It's a meditation to me. This is what I'm writing at the moment. And you took me to a place and a scene. You created this moment in the morning And I was waking up to the sunrise coming up and the birds coming up with that, the twittering and flamboyant birds, which as they are, and fragrant breezes. I can do this as a meditation quite easily. And after that, I saw all your poems really as a sort of meditation. And you were talking about things that most of us know about in one way and another, or if we don't know about it, we probably will do sometime in the future, unfortunately. So you were writing about those things. I just loved it all. For myself, writing books for children, that's because I don't have the talent to write for grown-ups. I try, but I end up writing for children instead. But I think, it was a pleasure to open your book, and it was a pleasure to find out who you are. That's what I was reading. I was reading who you are, what you were thinking and what you were feeling. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I remember all of that. And I remember those things. It didn't make me feel sad or anything. It just meant, I don't know how to say it really, but let me say it, you made me see things and you made me feel things, and you made me believe things in your poetry. And that's the best thing I can say about it, really. And you helped me as a storyteller. What you were doing was, a storyteller takes a 1-minute story and makes it a 20-minute story. You could take 20 minutes and squash it down really, really concisely and put it into 1 minute, which is a skill that I will never have. You have a skill beyond my feeble efforts. And I think that's what most poets do. They can tell stories. You can tell a story in a few lines, and that's a marvelous skill. It's a marvelous book and recommended, and I will get a copy of it, that's for certain. I've already seen it last night on Amazon, so I know it's there. Good luck with this book. I hope you sell gazillions of copies. It's worth it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful to listen from
Yeah.
you. We really enjoy the way you speak out the heart from the heart. So that was really nice to listen from you. So before we go on to our next speaker and the eminent authors, I would just go for the virtual book launch. So for that, just for everyone to have a glimpse of the book, a little bit about the book. So with that, we'll just, if you have the copy, Manjari, I would ask you to just put it up. I think with the virtual background, it will not be visible. So I'll just put blur, and then we'll take the book in the hand. With that, okay, you are able to do that. So this is actually the book which I have already got, a copy of the book. It's really amazing. And the authors, all the best-selling authors have written their views about the book. That is also very, very important, which I love the part of it because they went through it, their feelings, and they too lived with the book. I think the background is visible. 1 minute. Yeah, I think now it's visible. So all the best-selling authors have mostly we have commented in the book, and it's really nice that they all had a read of the book. Though the book in the hand will mean more better. So if you could get a copy of the book, which will be available very soon, it's there, but there just the cover is there. So right now we'll be publishing it within 15 days. So this is the official book launch of In Pursuit by Monjoyee Sarma from Assam, Guwahati. So congratulations, Monjoyee. And I really want to say that Creative Writing Modern Age is really happy to have, authors like you who really make us feel proud all the time when we have you with us. So first question to you, Monjoyee. A little bit we want to know from you about the book. What inspired you actually? Obviously, we always ask the question to the authors who write such wonderful collection of books. So the first question to you is that from where did you get the inspiration to write the book?
Thank you, Rachna ma'am, for your kind words. I'm extremely humbled and honored by this noble gesture of the founder of Creative Writing Modern Age, Mrs. Rachna Chakraborty ma'am, and the entire team of CWME. So they have given me this opportunity for compiling this book of poems, which is very special to my heart. As Tony Sir just said, that it's a meditation. So it just brought tears to my eyes, the way he spoke. And even Santosh ma'am, they have written such wonderful reviews and they could understand what I was feeling in my soul. Really, poetry connects in this way. And I express my gratitude to the publishers Notion Plus in collaboration with Creative Writing Modern Age and also to Amazon. Well, I express my sincere thanks to all the versatile personalities who have taken out their valuable time to either write a foreword or review the contents of the book, which are indeed true scribblings of a forlorn heart. In fact, with greetings to all the wonderful participants and the audience, I would like to reinstate that the Book of Poems In Pursuit is an endeavor to touch the inner recesses of the soul, which finds solace in seeking the things we love to do. So Rachna ma'am, you asked me about my inspiration. So my inspiration is y'all. You are my inspiration. Santosh ma'am, Ramendra sir, and all the stalwarts, Tony sir, and many couldn't join in today as they had other tasks, but y'all are my inspiration. And of course, I would like to say that this book of poems is dedicated to my better half. And today it is his birthday. So it is a gift to him. So as I said, that I have dedicated this book of poems to my husband on his birthday, hoping that everyone's blessings will surely send good vibrations to his soul. His love of traveling and photography made me incorporate some of his clicks in the book. Though he couldn't travel worldwide, yet I believe as you see those clicks taken by him and like it, his soul will definitely be aware of it and he'll be happy there in the heavens. In fact, this is so true for everyone. The death of a family member tarnishes us. And when, with the passing of months, we slowly accept, then we feel that by doing the things they liked, we can keep them alive. The past 1 year without my soulmate has taught me many things. I have realized that the person who comes out alive out of a thunderous storm is never the same person. Just like a morn after the night storm is calm and clear after a cleansing of nature, similarly, death of a loved one teaches us patience, endurance, and perseverance. And that is also my inspiration to write the book.
Great to know from you, Monjoyee, your inspiration. And we really admire. And we would also request on this platform of Creative Writing Modern Age that use your writing skills as a tool to remove all your stress, as we have so many stalwarts here today, all the eminent writers, published authors, that they have taken in to remove the stress. It's not needed, to smoke around, to do something else. to remove your stress, to drink with a bottle in a hand. That is not the way of releasing your stress. I feel writing, whether it's poem or story, your stress can be released, and your tensions, whatever you have, you can relax your healings. You can heal your soul with the help of your writing skills. Whatever you write in the beginning, that doesn't matter. Technicalities comes later on, but in the beginning, you just need to write. So with that, I would thank Manjari for taking this best turn and dedicating the book to your better half and writing something and immortalizing him with the help of the few lines which comes from our heart, one heart to another heart. This is the best way which we as human beings can do for somebody whom we love. So that's the best way. Thank you so much, Manjari, for selecting us as the platform. And we hope to always be there in your future endeavors also, whatever you wish to do in your future, especially in the writing skills. So with that important thing, I would love to move to Ramendra, who is also best selling. Everyone knows who is watching us live now from the platform of Creative Writing Modern Age, as well as from others, that Ramendra is a best selling author. He has numerous books to his credit. And with that, I would just love to ask Ramendra that, Ramendra, do you feel that when a stressful person, you are also right now going through that, so do you feel that a person who is in a lot of stress, instead of going to a beer bar and sitting and taking out the stress there, or smoking out whole day, they can release that stress, or just take a pen and just start writing or scribbling? Does that help? So over to you, Ramendra.
Thank you. First of all, I would say that In Pursuit, the title seems to be part of my initial years when I was chasing my wife Madhavi, because I fell in love with her in 7 seconds and she took 7 months. So I was in pursuit of her for 7 months. Yeah. So, but seriously speaking, I came to know about the book only, I think, yesterday. So I just went to Amazon and just read through the preface and the foreword and all. The cover is surreal and sublime. And the relationship between Monjoyee and Chandan is so real and sublime. That is what I realized as I read through. And let me tell you, Monjoyee, you're a very, very special person. Your courage, your commitment, your sensitivity, you epitomize all this, and you are an inspiration personally for me. And I haven't read the book. I'm going to order it and read it. But really, just going through your preface and all, I was absolutely moved to tears. And I'll quote your own preface to you. What I loved so much. I realized that grief, which becomes a part of our lives, can be used in a positive way, cherishing those sweet moments, cherishing those memories. So people normally say that when a loved one dies, time will heal, time would make you forget. I said, why? I keep saying that, why should you forget? Live those memories, drench yourself in those memories, those sweet moments, soak yourself in those lovely, lovely, times which you have spent with your loved one. Why should you keep thinking of forgetting? I said, don't forget, drench yourself, soak yourself. And whatever moments you have got, whether it is 1,000 moments or 1 billion moments or just a few moments, each moment is crystallized in diamonds, So I completely agree with Monjoyee, and my salutation to her for giving this line, which is so close to my heart. Then she says one more thing. I relate with my husband's soul, keeping him alive in everyone's memories. What a beautiful thought. What a sweet thought. And you really are an inspiration, Monjoyee. And let me, the question which Rachna asked, yes, poetry, I'm a poet more by serendipity than by design. Whenever something either very, very happy happens to me or something very sorrowful, I resort to poetry. When my wife said she cannot marry me because her father is objecting, I went back to Hyderabad from Roorkela And finally, I wrote a bunch of 21 poems and sent to her. She read those poems and she called me and she said, I want to get married to you. So how important poetry is. But again, seriously speaking, when my father passed away, I had written a poem for him. That poem was under his pillow. And that poem is, I think, if I'm remembered ever, I should be remembered for those lines. So poetry is catharsis. Poetry is the greatest, one of the greatest stress busters. Poetry means I would include writing in general, as Santoshji said, is a great stress buster. It's something as close to divinity and being close to something sublime as anything on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. So I want to congratulate you for this precious gift you've given us, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Ramendra, let me add something here. And these poems, they are just like hushed whispers, hushed whispers in which the poet is talking to herself. And while talking to herself in these hushed whispers, she's managing to heal this restless world. So these words are healing us while they are healing her too. So this is a wonderful collection of thought-provoking, touching verses, and which leave the reader with a lingering, healing fragrance. It is meditation, as someone said just now, meditation, catharsis, therapeutic effect it has. So wonderful. Hats off to you, Monjoyee. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, Santoshji always wants to have the last word. So I'm going to have another last word. I had written for my dad. The last two lines only I would like to say. He passed away 14 years back. So I just wrote this. I feel the presence of your absence every moment, everywhere.
Truly, sir.
Very true, very true. Thank you
Very
so
true.
much, Ramendra ji, for that nice, wonderful explanation. That served it all. As I always keep on speaking with Monjoyee, she is a very dear friend of mine also. My sister's friend, very younger to me. But whenever I speak to her, I just tell her that write it out, write it out. It's going to help a lot. And I really feel that she has done her best with the help of her writing work. The way every poems, I already have the book with me. So the copies of this book, I went on reading to it, and the pictures that really relates with every topic, which heals my soul also. I just feel that, it's somewhere it is very, very necessary to outpour our thoughts and the feelings, whatever we have. So thank you so much, Monjoyee, for writing it out and sharing it with all of us. That is very, very important. Sharing is very important. When we think something and we don't share, then there is no solution to it. When we share it out, it's something which we are doing for the society, and others can take a copy from it. That's what we really need to do. As Tony sir said, it's a meditation. So yes, it's truly a meditation. So Monjoyee, coming back to one more point, especially from your poem, To Cupid, where you had very, very nicely spoken about the death and the society's mental trauma inflicted on a woman soon after the husband's death. That poem tells it all. And it's just like what the society does to a woman. They don't allow them to be themselves. So there is a lot of things which the Hindu society does. The rubbing of the vermilion with the husbands going on, then the robes are white turn, instantly it is done. And like by the time you can express your heartfelt feelings, everything the society is inflicting on you, which you have very wonderfully told it in this poem. So I would love to know about this poem, how closely it is connected to you, and what did you really feel while writing this poem, To Cupid?
Yes, Rachna ma'am. So in India, we know that many rituals are followed in the name of widowhood. That term itself, it scares me, It's a social exclusion from auspicious events in the house, or leading a life of abstinence from bright colors and ornaments. And that's so painful. All of a sudden, when this shelter disappears from a woman and she is vulnerable to listen to society's norms, or she'll be labeled as disrespecting her husband, it really becomes intolerable, unbearable, of course. So only the pangs of separation can be felt, not only physical, but more mental, as you don't have a pillar to lean. So these are the rituals which Indian society, it exists in Indian society, but slowly with time, I think that's many women, as they are empowered, they come out of it. And I'm lucky to have my family members who always have stood as a support. But my heart goes out to many such deprived women who cannot stand for their own rights. And already when the soulmate is missing, it really becomes a pathetic moment. So I'll just recite this poem. It was written from my heart. And even the thing that the husband would never want his wife to be seen in that way, in that desperate way, when he cannot do anything for her. So that desperate nature I have felt, still I feel that in many occasions, I avoid occasions, though I was a very happy-go-lucky girl right from my childhood. So many things have changed, but now I console myself. So I'm a sensitive person, always in tears for the least words said to me, but I don't have someone to console me. I have to console my own self. I have to stand up for my son. So these are the limitations which are faced in our society. So this poem, To Cupid. The soothing night as Jafar and Dove made us steal glances. Soft whispers flowed. Cupid, thou hast feared to compete, knowing that mortals will not praise thee. Conspiring with ruthless death, thou snatched me. So many things were left unspoken as I saw her cry, lying on my cold breast, trying my breath to revive. I watched her helplessly as they robbed her vermilion. While I embarked on the last journey, my last rites done, they took her to bed and she wore the white robes, which I couldn't bear. I detached to think of our plights. As my ashes in an urn will only return, I loathe in vain. But Cupid, hark, the sound of silence beckons, and she knows it's me. She rises to spend the night. Tonight the stars twinkle more brightly after the rains. I send her signs from amidst the moonlit sky, promising her to be there in her dreams, where we'll smile, we will cry, argue, and complain. Indeed, nothing beautiful comes without pain. So music will give her solace as we'll listen to Bon Jovi. I want to lay you down on a bed of roses, for tonight I'll sleep in a bed of needs. Hark, Cupid, thou art filled with envy again.
Wonderful, wonderful. Every lines was so wonderfully written, and as if it was speaking our souls out. So I don't think it's like individualized. It's for everyone who is undergoing this situation in their life. The last 2 years during the pandemic, many of us have seen and felt that pain, similar pain. So that is reflected somehow. I was just thinking the hair standing on the tip of the edge. So it is very beautifully written that, yes, as Ramendra also says, the dialogues of Amitabh Bachchan, when he just is going for that operation, that what was that dialogue, Amitabh's dialogue? I again forgot. Ramendra ji, you are muted, you are muted.
आज तो बहुत खुश हो गए तुम.
हाँ, आज तो बहुत खुश होंगे तुम, जिसने कभी सिगरेट और क्या क्या था, शराब,
कभी सिगरेट नहीं पी, कभी शराब नहीं पी, कभी मांस मच्छी नहीं खाया, उसको कैसे कैंसर ने कैसे पकड़ लिया. आज तो बहुत खुश हो गए तुम.
Yes, आज तो बहुत खुश होंगे तुम. That you have done that. Cupid can never touch a lover's heart. The person which we are bonded together, that can never be snatched away. It will always remain with us. Thank you so much for love. That's wonderful way of presenting. And this is what we are trying here in Creative Writing Modern Age, to teach every soul that start writing, start speaking, start saying, and transfer your all the harsh memories to something which is beautiful and something which is really wonderful, where you can really relate and connect yourself with. Find out the inner you. And this you can only do with your writing and speaking skills. So develop on that. Thank you so much, Manjuri. We have another author joining us. Veena ma'am is there. So first, with Veena ma'am, she's a storyteller. So Veena ma'am, tell us a little bit, how does writing heal? Just in short about healing of writer. She is the mentor of storytelling from Creative Writing Modern Age. So Veena ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Rachna ma'am. First, a very good evening to each and every one of you, all the stalwarts sitting in front. And thank you so much for inviting me. I'd like to congratulate from the bottom of my heart to Monjoyee. Monjoyee is very dear to me because we've been working as colleagues for a long time. I was the coordinator. And today when I look at the book, I think it's really apt because in pursuit, Monjoyee, I have always found her to be so passionate about anything that she does. A small poem she writes, she'll come upstairs and tell me, ma'am, I have written this. She's so humble. And today, Grant sir also gave me a comment. Then I used to always encourage her a lot. And I found her to be very soft-spoken, so hot. But I used to always tell her, she used to always tell me when her husband was in hospital, we used to have a lot of conversation. I used to send her some, quotes that this is life, it'll go on. But Monjoyee, I know you can do it and be with him and don't think. And as Ramendra sir just said, cherish those wonderful moments. And today, he's looking at you from the heavens and he's always by your side, as I always tell you. Monjoyee, I'm so happy for your achievement today.
Thank you.
You know that. You know
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I'm extremely happy. And I've seen after this has happened to you, the way you have emerged out, more power to you. I've seen that change in you. When you used to come and talk and tell me, ma'am, I don't know what will happen. I don't think I'll be able to work now because I don't think I'll be able to leave him in this condition. Then I remember the conversation we used to have when he was in the hospital. But right now, after these months, when I've seen you, more power to you, Monjoyee. I'm so happy. You have really become an inspiration for so many. I'm sure there are a lot of students who are watching. As a teacher also, you are an inspiration to the students as well and your colleagues. So I wish you all the best. I'm waiting eagerly to grab a copy and read. I have read some of your poems and I always tell you that you have spoken from your heart. And I remember the first time you told me, ma'am, it's a very few days my husband has passed, but I have gone with my son to Haflong. Many people may say something. I said, you carry on, Monjoyee. You are there for your son and you live the life the way your husband would want you to live.
Truly, ma'am.
It's you. So more power to you. And today, after listening to all of you, I have also learned so much. Rachna ma'am has asked me that, why don't you tell something about the importance of writing? Well, writing expresses actually who we are as people. And as a teacher, we have always encouraged children to write because there are many children who are not able to speak confidently. But I found that they write so beautifully and express themselves. And if I talk about poems, if I talk about my daughter who was in class 3, when I was baking a cake, and she was just 3 years old, she's sitting there in class 3 actually. Then I was amazed when I looked at her and I saw she was scribbling. I used to take a lot of cake orders, so I was baking, icing that cake. And after that, she showed me that, please see this. I was amazed to see that she had written 8 lines, class 3 student. She wrote about me, my mother. So I feel it's very important, they can express themselves. I think she couldn't have told me. She wanted to tell me something, how much she loved me. And she loved the way I was baking the cake and how secure she feels, So I feel that writing is an essential job skill. Writing is the primary basis upon which one's work, learning, and intellect will be judged. Writing equips us with communication and, of course, thinking skills. Writing expresses who we are. Writing is important for kids as it influences the way we think. It enables us to express ourselves to others in more effective ways. Writing is a tool that students can use And of course, stress can be relieved. It's a form of output, thinking made evident, means of building fluency, way of developing accuracy in grammar and enrichment in vocabulary. Premier way in which children think and express their ideas, a way children express creativity, uniqueness, and indicates what they want. Critical skill for academic or professional success. So I feel writing is very important. And today in such a wonderful gathering, I'll write to just say a few quotes from some very famous poets. Somerset Maugham, the crown of literature is poetry. Then one from Robert Frost, a poem begins in delight and ends in wisdom. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words. Writing a poem is a discovery. To pen your thoughts into words, I think is the greatest pleasure in life. I found a few lines and I feel this is what all the poets may feel at times. I want someone to read these words and understand for just 1 second, so I'm not alone with my thoughts. Thank you to all the wonderful poets, talented, who pen your thoughts and you can express so well in words. There's so much to learn from you. And poetry is really a wonderful medium to express your inner thoughts. We have always seen creative writing modern age has enabled and encouraged so many budding talents in various fields, be it be poems, be it be storytelling. So more power to Rachna ma'am, who always encourages us and give us a platform to express ourselves. Thank you so much for inviting me and being a part of this wonderful book launch. I congratulate you once again, Monjoyee.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you,
Wonderful
ma'am.
meeting all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Veena ma'am. Veena ma'am, thank you. As usual, always a great storyteller and really amazing to hear from you the benefits of writing, which we here in Creative Writing Modern Age always keep on doing. And we have brilliant authors also, Monjoyee Sarma, who always shares her thoughts with the help of poems. So we also have a brilliant person who has joined us, Hansraj Borpatra Gohai. So we would love to hear from him. He is the person from AIR, that is from the media. So, sir, I would really be obliged if you could say something about our poet Monjoyee Sarma and how she keeps on inspiring everyone there also in the media.
Well, a very good evening to all the wonderful people. I've been listening to you all, and I was thinking it would have been better for me to just keep quiet and listen to all you people, such creative people out there. And of all the things, as Rachna ma'am, I was following what you have been saying, that instead of hitting the bottle, why can't we come out being more creative? Why not we change all those things which have been disturbing us, change all those threats into opportunities and write and get into creative writing. It's so very wonderful. As of Monjoyee Ba, first of all, heartiest congratulations to Monjoyee Ba for coming up with this wonderful book of poems. And I was just going through this to Cupid, and it was so touching, filled with pathos. And I was just going through these lines over and over again, lying on my old cold breast, trying my breath to revive. I watched her helplessly as they rubbed her vomit while I embarked on a large journey. My last rites done, they took her to bed and she wore the white robes. The picture that comes out of, well, let's not get into that, but let's talk about the positive things. Well, poetry. Well, I'm not much into writing poetry, but definitely I love reading them. And my association with Monjoyee Ba goes back 22 long years. We have been working together in All India Radio and Doordarshan. We are both radio presenters as well as news presenters. And I've seen these ladies, very soft-spoken, and she is so very precise. She knows what she wants to do, and she has never lost her focus. In spite of all the hard times that she has gone through, I never could imagine to come up with such things, to write such lovely words. Turning the stress is kind of a threat, when you lose someone very dear, or someone on whom you have been leaning upon, your life partner. It's, lose someone and then to get out of it and to create something. This is really magical. This is something which I have learned today, going through all that you have been speaking all throughout. It's been so nice. And I must say, my association with Monjoyee over the last 22 years, I've never seen her lose her patience. And she has always been calm and composed, always so very delicate. And when she said, like, you should come and join this webinar, this June meet, and you'd really love to meet these people. And of course, they, honestly speaking, I would have, kept quiet. Though, for us radio presenters and television presenters, the more we speak, the more money we get. But I would have, preferred to keep silent and listen to all you lovely people. This kind of creativity actually instills that kind of a faith, courage, help you come out of all the, dire straits. And, I'm just running out of words at this moment because of all you learn people out there, of all that I have learned, of all that I've heard so far. It's been so nice. My heartiest congratulations to you once again, Monjoyee, and of course to Rajna ma'am. You're taking this initiative and bringing all the people together. And I do hope that I can be a part of this forum. And maybe I get inspired to so that I can take the pen and the paper and I start writing something very nice and touch the heart of the other people. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Hansraj. And so true, really touched the heart.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Hansraj. It's really nice to hear from young people like you. Of course, I am also young. I will not go into that age factor, but it's great to listen from you that, yes, it's true that we should all get motivated by writing. And Manjuri does it amazingly. She is always inspired, and the way positivity comes into her when she writes, when she's in her table, in her desk, writing something, and it really comes out to be the best. She always asks me that, is it good that this poem is not to that mark? But I always tell her that it is what comes out from your heart is always up to the mark. You don't have to remember to any comments. It is always to the mark.
So very
And
true.
yeah, and really, Hansraj, ours is a journey, a musical journey. And, music, it really helps us in this poetic journey. So you'll be knowing that our association for the last 22 years with All India Radio Guwahati has been just a very positive factor in molding me. It's truly said that music is the rhythm of life. It echoes our pain, grief, sorrow, and anger. It's like a soothing balm in times of loneliness. It's like an elixir in moments of joy. It reveals your unspoken feelings for someone, weaving dreams of blissful togetherness. It's a sweet companion on a long drive, isn't it? So, being a Western music announcer there, so I have been lucky to present tracks from the rich archive that we have while talking to our unseen listeners. And this passion for soulful melodies was shared with my better half also, because he also enjoyed that as we explored rough terrains. In this poem, when I wrote about Bon Jovi's line, that track, Bed of Roses, I was and tears were just running out because he was just playing this track and we were on our journey to the mountains where hardly any people were seen. So I jotted down the lines of Bon Jovi in this poem to keep it feeling each word, which had an impact as it drove through those snowy mountains of Sikkim, East Sikkim it was, in Kupo. And Hansraj, we have Tony Sir. He is the father of storytelling, and he is also the host of Talking Stories. I think Tony Sir would see that in a better way. So,
yeah, we have the father the father of storytelling, Hansraj, and he does it amazingly well. You should visit the site, Talking Stories, London Stories. So do visit and share your stories also.
Yeah, definitely. I will do that. And I must say, it's not easy to write. It's not easy to write. Not everybody can write. You might be filled with emotions, pathos and everything, but to emote out those words and to reach out to other people and to share those things and to come into at the same frequency, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. That's what I feel, like listening to all you people, or just feeling at the same time, why can't I write? Of course. Now, as you say, as we Indians, we believe in Goddess Saraswati. So I feel like maybe Goddess Saraswati might not be, you need to have those blessings also. It's not something that you can, if you just sit down to write something, it's not that something comes out so spontaneously, immediately. There has to be something. There has to be something. There has to be some, some spiritual connection with the upper world that brings out the best in you. So I would love to hear from you people more and more. And I do believe this was a very learning session. I mean, it's so very nice to hear all you people. Just keep on doing that, and I would love to be a part of this forum. Listening to you over and over again. It's like it's rejuvenating me today.
Yes. Thank you so much for being with us today also. And surely we'll have more such sessions with you also. But today we are since with the author and the poet in her book launch In Pursuit. So Monjoyee, coming back to you as the author, the title of the poem In Pursuit, how does it relate with all the stories, or how did you, or actually, why did you decide to put this as your title, In Pursuit? So we'd love to know from you.
Okay, the collection of poems, that is this book, In Pursuit. So this book reveals the transition of thoughts from childhood to youthful days and finally to old age as life's journey is undertaken through the stony ways, overcoming hurdles. So when a beautiful life comes to a standstill with the death of a person with whom we converse right from the morning to night, do things accordingly, then it is difficult to accept the loss and we cannot face reality. But slowly this grief turns to a scar from the deep wound and we learn to cope up with the pain. Then one realizes that the absence can be made as a weapon to do the things they liked and make them be remembered fondly. If positive vibrations are sent to the soul by everyone, it attains salvation. I do believe that. So In Pursuit, I have given this title because it is a search for joy, peace, contentment, and divinity, exploring the beauty of nature. In fact, death is inevitable and it is faced by everyone. In each family, there is a death of someone, but death can be conquered. And true love, if we have true love, it surpasses the physical constraints and it attains spirituality. I do believe that. So the lost one becomes a guiding star, a ray of hope, a belief in times of uncertainty, and a final destination, which I tried to express in all the poems. My last poem's title is Final Destination. And so I had thought that giving this title to the book In Pursuit would really do justice because the soul is always in pursuit of something. Everyone is in pursuit of something, be it happiness, be it wealth, be it peace, and so on.
Yes, thank you so much, Monjoyee, for love in that lovely way of expressing. We also have another guest joining us. Though he was a little late, he had messaged me, he'll be a little late. Dr. P.K. Rajput sir. And Rajput sir had also written very beautifully few lines in about the poem and the book of poem. So Rajput sir's piece of this thing is also there in the book In Pursuit. It's there in that book. So just he has written that after reading the poem, book of poems, how did he feel like? So Rajput sir, I would just love to ask you that, did the poems or the book of poems really inspire you? Or did you feel connected to the poet while reading some of the poems from the book?
Thank you so much. Once again, good evening to everybody and my namaskar to everybody. And Monjoyee ma'am, first of all, congratulations for making it happen. And you made it happen, right? And Professor Ashra ma'am, thank you for inviting me along with such a wonderful people. I was listening very carefully, Veena ma'am, the way she was talking about it. Wonderfully, because I was late. Then Hansraj sir was talking. He was appreciating about your all the humbleness, gesture, your never say no attitude and all. So this is really something great. And I was very happy and blessed when you have sent me the poem, the entire book, I read it, and it has touched the heart. Believe you me, you can feel that how the journey was, how beautifully the thing was going. And that is the reason I have written in that. And it is really touched. It is so emotional, so imbibing, so means it is such a correlation, cohesiveness is there. And that's why what the way you said, in the pursuit towards this thing, you're good at. Because the pursuit is the right word which you've chosen. When you say in the pursuit towards excellence, in the pursuit towards love, in the pursuit towards something, and that is the right way you're putting this thing. So I'm highly not only impressed, but I am really touched from my heart about this wonderful lines which you have written it. And I'm sure this book of yours is going to be a great blockbuster. Blockbuster not in terms of the sale, but more of it touching the human lives, understanding the things, understanding the feelings, understanding the emotions, understanding that how the connection is there, which is like a divine connection, and it is going to be long lasting forever and ever and ever. So that is all from my side. Very happy to be a part of your book, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Rachna,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining in, and for all the amazing authors who has joined in. We have Sincini from Sri Lanka also, and she has also written about the book of poems. So Sincini, who is also the director of the Kids Zone from Creative Writing Modern Age. So Sincini, we would be happy if you could say something about the book of poems in pursuit about Monjoyee.
Hello everyone, I'm Sincini Syrobandradra from Sri Lanka. Thank you so much, Rachna ma'am, for this opportunity, and congratulations, Monjoyee ma'am, on this book. And while I was listening to all these great speakers, what I learned out of this is like, this is a phoenix work, actually. She has acted as a phoenix, and she is inspiring all of us because she has risen from the ashes, and she is inspiring all the others to be that. And being in my 20s, what I learned is this is a guidance and a book on how to love a person, actually. How to love, purely about that. So, like, I was really amazed because she has not only written about love, but also has connected the nature also into this, and also as a guidance to us. And I would really like to recite one of her poems, ma'am, if you give me a chance.
Yes, surely, surely.
The peril. The falcon waits for its prey, but she is grasping to take her last breath. Seeking divine intervention with folded hands, her indomitable spirit is astonished. Before the ruthless predator, her frail body resists moving on, bogged amidst the marshy quagmire. With fading strength, realization dawns. Why did she try to quench her thirst from a mirage? A mirage that shone only in the sunlight. Oh, she fails to move. She struggles in the dunes. With a last look at the perilous menace, she resigned, though twilight blurred its impeccable sight. So, from the phoenix to the falcon. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Sachini.
much. Thank
Well, Sachini, I would like to mention that this poem was written in the year 2020, and it was composed and recited. I made a YouTube video feeling the poem during the lockdown period. And actually, with so many deaths all around at that time, a complete disillusionment with life had made me feel that we humans were so helpless in front of this ruthless predator, which I tried to symbolize with the help of the falcon. So we drift apart from social bindings, and we have lived a masked life. And we were waiting, we never knew that when death would snatch us. So for that reason, I had written that poem.
Yes,
So
very
happy.
nice, very nice.
Yes, Sachini, you have
Rachna.
chosen that poem. I'm very happy for it.
Yes, Ramendra sir. Yeah.
I'll have to leave now. I have to go and take my chemo medicine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Please.
Yeah, I
Thank
really
you,
enjoyed
sir.
myself. Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much, sir.
Take
Thank
care,
you,
Ramendra.
Ramendra, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So that was nice. Ramendra was there and he is undergoing, we all know, under the treatment, but still
Yes.
he decided that whenever he commits something, he never says no. So that is
Yeah,
what I
correct.
like of him. Though he's under the chemo treatment, but still he managed and spent few hours with us. That is really nice for him. And even for us, Creative Writing Modern Age, since from the board of directors and from the core team member of Creative Writing Modern Age also. So we are really honored always to have him by our side. And with his guidance, our team is doing well day by day. And now coming back to Monjoyee, just a small, since the author, I want to know from you a little bit that what do you really feel that music, as you are also there in the media, and has music helped you in your poetic journey? Or how did it help you? You have said a little bit when you're talking to Hans Raj, but I want to listen a little more about it. How has music helped you in your poetic journey?
Yeah, so as Rachna ma'am, I said that music is really the rhythm of life. It helps us continue on with our journey. Whenever we are feeling sad or we are happy, we connect with our soul through music. So sometimes it wipes away our tears and it gives us solace. So music is very important, it is like an elixir in moments of joy, as I had said. So as I have been associated with All India Radio as a Western music announcer, and even Hansraj is there, so we get a whole lot of collection of music, right from be it rock also, or whatever it is, reggae or country music, which is very close to her. And our thoughts are also reflected in the way we speak about the songs, and then we can give vent to our emotions in that way. So this has also helped me in my writing skills. So whenever I'm laid down by any emotions, whatever kind of emotions, so we can at least speak to our unseen listeners and we find solace in that way. And when someone in your house shares the same liking for whatever passion you have, then really life becomes beautiful. And so as we shared the same passion, life was beautiful for us. And as I said earlier, that when we went into our different exploits of all kinds of beautiful sceneries, then it was music which was with us. Any Don Williams number or Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy, we used to just listen. Today also I had radio duty, I played that song, and it gives a kind of thrill, it gives a kind of pleasure, and that pleasure, that optimism is also reflected in my poems. So though there is always pain in me, I cannot be a depressed soul and address someone. So that grief cannot be understood by someone else. It's the feeling which is very deep inside the heart, and that feeling is always there. So in my poems, when I write the poems, I express and I feel that that soul is with me. He is with me. I never like people saying that move on with time, because we cannot never move on. And it is at this moment that music gives us that power. We listen to good music, we get that strength. And so music has been a part of my poetic journey, and I get inspiration when I listen to such numbers. And another track I just forgot, I just remember two lines: lonely is the night when I'm not with you. So listening to such tracks, I cry, I smile, I give myself solace, I find consolation. And these poems are also late night scribblings. I don't call, that's why they are poems, but they are just feelings, true feelings. Each and every word comes out from the heart. I cry and I feel that presence. And I hope also others, also those who have lost a dear one or any member in the family, they'll also pursue they have and find consolation in this way, instead of just lamenting and tormenting oneself. So
very true, very true. We should never try to forget. We should try to live in those wonderful memories. Isn't that a nice way that how our writing works? and scribblings, as you said, that this gives us real bliss when we are with them. People, even if they have not lost their near and dear ones, probably they will not be able to understand this feeling. How much happiness they might tell that you should forget all the bad things, you should forget. But how can we forget the person who is very close to us, the person who was there near and dear to us? We can never forget. We can only live more and more and feel that happiness and immortalize that person along with the thoughts vibrant in us. So that's the best way which we can live with our near and dear ones. So whoever is lost in this pandemic, there are many who has lost the near and dear ones. So it's a request to all of them that please never try to erase their memory from your heart, but do live with them and enjoy, smile with them, cry with them. There is bliss when whatever you do with them. Scribble out the thoughts which comes to you and live the life which your loved one would have wished for you. Try to live out their dreams, immortalize them in the way they would have imagined you to be throughout the life. So Manjari, you have done an amazing thing by writing the book of poems, and the collection of poems are truly amazing, suitable for everyone and suitable reading for every people, whether you are in, you have lost someone or not. It is real blessing if you read the poem. It's connectivity to the nature, connectivity to music, connectivity to life can be seen, from the poem. So it is not that personal reflection of the mind. It is rather the feelings of the heart, which every soul can get connected. So we would request after 15 days when it's available in Amazon to grab a copy. You can read it and reread it to find solace. So it would be wonderful to have all of you reading the book and writing a review about it in Amazon. So thank you, Manjari, for giving this lovely book. Yes,
And
yes, ma'am, surely.
Yeah. As I was going through this book, it's honestly speaking, it's a wonderful book. It's poetry in motion. I could see the figures there, and the poet here has, she talks of love, she talks of loss, she talks of longing, existential angst and anguish. And we, the readers, we move with her. We are moving along with her. We find ourselves slowly becoming part of her life, shedding tears with her, smiling sadly at those good times that the couple have shared, and followed by a slow and reluctant acceptance of what life has to offer. As I was reading, and there were certain images that were etched in my memory. I could catch glimpses of the two lovers walking hand in hand under the pine trees, whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears. And this is a line which I have quoted in my foreword, splashing the misty droplets of pristine love, pristine love. Pristine love is something which is etched in your memory after you finish reading the book. And she talks of nature in such loving terms, the treasures that nature has to offer. And we find that eventually it is this aura of nature that finally lifts us, lifts the poet's wounded heart from the abyss of despair. So this is something which, everyone has to learn from this. These beautiful words, they erupt from the heart and touch the reader's hearts. So it is a touching offering to her husband, and he must be smiling from up there. Hats off to you, salute to you for your resilience.
Yes, surely, Santosh ma'am. Whatever you said is absolutely true. And reading the poems, it's really connected. We can visualize every scene which the couple might have gone through, and the wonderful moments which they have spent. And this is the best way dedicated to your better half on his birthday today being, and we are lucky enough that to launch the book, official launching the book on his birthday. So it was really amazing that you have very, very, very clearly written about each and every moment of your life. Excuse me. So coming back to Tony, sir, you have written in that review about the poem, just a line that life is wonderful even at the hard times we face and will be long forgotten when we all meet again. So you really felt that it's a wide-ranging collection as storytelling is doing. So the poems and storytelling, how did it relate to you, or is it connected, or any such poem from the book which you really felt had a story to be revealed? Any particular poem?
The first one, the third one, that Charms of Nature, was the one that made me look at the book and say, oh, this is a book. This is something worth reading. This is quite clever, really. It was very interesting. And it's something that I can understand as well. The whole tone of the book about loss and things, we've all been there. And I could tell you, Monjoyee, the last time anyone I knew passed away, it was like I was a little piece of land cut off and now a little island floating in the ocean, away from everybody, lost. No one could see me again. I was distraught. I was disheveled. I was a mess. I was sad. And then I suddenly realized, I believe that they will be in heaven. And I will believe that one day, but I'm not in a hurry, but one day I will see them again. And wow, isn't that going to be a good get together? Oh my goodness, I'll never see anything like it. I mean, when you meet your husband again, you will be in tears, you'll be smiles, you'll be hugging him, he will be in tears, he will be smiles, he'll be hugging you, he'll be telling you all about it. And when you get through all of that, then he'll be saying, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And you wrote that book in pursuit. And oh, I was dreaming about what you could do afterwards. So remember, he's watching you and he's hoping for you. He's encouraging you and he's saying, wow, what can you do next after this? You are good. You are good. I'd be so happy for you. I'd be proud of you. Just like all my parents and family who I've lost, they'll all be proud of me with the things I've done. And when I've done them, I say, hey, look at this. You know, and I know he will be kind of happy that you miss him, but I don't think he will be happy that you're miserable every single day. He won't want that. He knows that you're coming to him one day too, and he'll want you to have a good life and a happy life. I'm sure he wants you, when you're looking over the horizon and watching the sunset and or seeing the sun rising, he'd be there with you, standing beside you, watching the same sun coming up. And he will hope that you're feeling happy at that moment. And it's true, but you will meet him again. And if you meet him again, and all those hugs and tears and so on, and all that happiness and belief now that there's such a thing as God above and a good God above that brought you back together again. And if I'm there watching, I will be full of tears and happiness and belief too. So sure. Go for it. Be happy. Be happy. He'll want you to be happy in the best way you can. In the best way you can under the circumstances. I know what it's like. I try to be happy, but sometimes I miss them. But I know they are better where they are now. They've just gone on holiday before me. I'll catch up with them later. That's all it is to it. And when I get there, they'll tell me all about it, what I'm supposed to do and where to go and who to see and what papers to sign, what documents or anything. They will tell me all about it after they complain about all the things that I didn't do.
Such a nice way, Manjoyee. Did you see how Tony sir had explained it so beautifully?
And you know, ma'am, the poem that he had selected, that he said that he likes it very much, that Charms of Nature. So this poem, you know, it was published way back in 1995 in Reader Choice. So it reveals the charms of solitude when you awake at a winter dawn and feel the first sun rays lazily creeping in through the thick foliage. So slowly from the silence, the environment is filled with vocal blends, and from the twittering birds are the activities of the humans. So that poem is very dear to me. In my initial years, when I was writing poems or scribbling, you can say, I wrote that poem. And I got 150 rupees for writing that, you know. During that time, I was so happy. That was my own pocket money.
Nice, so
Good.
nice.
Very special to me. So
Sir, you had explained it so nicely. We'll all go for a
Yes.
holiday. We are on a holiday and picnic party meeting our loved ones. What best can be the way of reflection of this memories, and we can put it in a jovial way, in a humorous way, as well as with the thoughtful feelings that
Yeah.
yes, they were the first to reach the picnic spot. We will be following them sooner or later, and we too will have a gala time with them there.
as Tony sir is always a storyteller, so always he ways that brings in that story, no? So that poem he had merged in, no? I remember the lines, the red blossoms of the Gulmohar shower, adding colors to the dull road. The dew-laden leaves give succor as the butterflies and little birds rejoice. No longer am I a lone stranger on this path, happy that no one can walk with me. The glimpse of the high distant hills as it touches the ever-receding horizon is where you stopped being captivated. And now I shall walk happily to reach this mysterious destination and show you the strength, the courage, the capability, the direction your love has endowed on me. And I do hope that it goes out for everyone, that endurance should be there in everyone, you know,
Yes.
so that we can face the trials and tribulations of life. We should always, everyone should possess that courage. And I hope it has changed me a lot.
Yeah, they were, thank you so much, Manjuri. But quickly, I was just seeing through the messages. Donald Das has congratulated you on the poem, and Seezanky is having some problem, I think. He's joined us from Uganda. He too has written a lovely review about the book. If Seezanky could share some thought, just in few lines. I know you're trying from when to get connected. I don't know. I saw you in between. But in the meantime, as he's getting connected, there are many messages for you. We have iPhone Plus. The name is not proper. Ishika Parvez has also written, congratulations. Akshita has also written, Manjuri ma'am, eagerly waiting to read. So
Yes.
Harshita Borwa is also there, and Harshita has also congratulated you. It's a great opportunity to be here in the official book launch. Congratulations to you, Manjuri. I have shared the Facebook Live link, so you all can share it in your pages also. And we also have a lovely Rajput sir is continuously writing and messaging so many things I can see wonderfully as you speak, and you can type also in the same time. I'm really bad at that. I can only concentrate only in one side, whether I'm speaking or I'm writing, either any one of them. So I can see Rajput sir replying all the messages on my behalf. Oh, thank you so much. I'm honored. Devina Bora has also congratulated you, Manjuri, on the publishing of the new book. Thank you, Devina. I think some students have joined to read out some poems. So if we could quickly read, I know it's already 2 hours
Yeah.
and our guests are getting late. They have their other commitments also. But yes, yes, Santosh ma'am.
I have some important work.
Yes, I know. You have
Yes.
told me, Tony sir, Santosh ma'am.
That's all. Thank you
Thank
so much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do get a copy of the
Pleasure.
book, ma'am, and do
Yes.
write a review. And of course, for creative writing modern age, also we would love to get a review from you in our page, Creative Writing Modern Age. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
And,
ma'am. Feel
all
honored.
Yes, we'll meet
Monjoyee
again.
ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
Keep writing, keep smiling.
Yes.
We'll meet
Thank you
again.
so much.
Ji, we would love a review from you also from our Facebook page, Creative Writing Modern Age, as well as grab the copy of In Pursuit by Monjoyee Sarma. And the
Definitely.
link will be sharing it very soon. So do get a copy and write a review about that book also. And we would love to read all the lovely reviews in the page, Amazon page.
Definitely. But as of now, I would like to take a
Thank you.
due. Thank you so much. And wish you all the best. Rachna ma'am, thank you so much. And Monjoyee ba, we'll catch up very soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, surely. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony sir, also being there with us from the beginning. You were there, and your lovely comments, you made me look at life from a different perspective altogether. Right, Manjoyee?
Yes, yes.
Tony sir talked about life in a wonderful way, as he always does. He's the father of storytelling, and he made life so nice, as a nice picnic which we are all in. Some goes first, some goes again behind. We are all following, and we'll be all united together in love. So it was really nice listening from you, sir. And happy to have you in a platform. Do grab a copy. And also, we would love to hear your review about our page, Creative Writing Modern Age, and also about the book by Monjoyee Sarma, the review in the Amazon page also. So thank you so much.
Monjoyee, please record at least one of those stories and an introduction all about yourself and your book, and we'll put them on the radio. And if you can record the piece about the book, I can put that in often. Because we need space savers and space fillers sometimes on the program. It has to be 60 minutes long. We can't be 61, and if we're 59:30, we'd need 30 seconds to fill in. So if you have a 30-second soundbite all about your book, we can put it in often. So keep mentioning your book and creative writing in the modern age. You do one too, Professor. You'd be really good.
Yes,
we can use those.
Surely do that.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. And just email them.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I have to go now anyway. My wife is coming back in now, so she's been away all day. Take care. And thank you for your book. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, I think Manjoyee, some of the kids have joined to read some poems from Manjoree's book, In Pursuit. Can you name them some, Manjoyee, please?
Yes, I think Akshara is there, ma'am.
Yeah.
Akshara Sakya.
Akshara. Yeah, lovely Akshara. Veena ma'am's favorite.
Can I take the permission? Akshara, before Akshara, can I take the permission?
Yes, sir. Rajput sir, you have to be with us. You joined us late, so it's not a punishment, but we would love to listen from you a little more about Manjoyee. So I'll have to ask you 2, 3 more small questions here and there. Yes, just a few more minutes. We'll just listen to one of the poems. So probably then we can, the kids have been waiting for quite a long time. Yeah, Akshara, over to you.
Okay, ma'am, sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Akshara Sekya, and I'm from Marya's Public School, Guwahati, Assam. Monjoyee ma'am is one of my teachers in my school. She has influenced me in this art of recitation and storytelling, and the awards that I've received. So I would like to recite one of my favorite poems from the book. The name is A Little Girl's Wish. Sometimes I wish to soar high, high above, to thy abode. Play with thee and walk hand in hand, and to control the world with thy magic wand. The wind at my command would blow. Each life would be given a new glow. Varied flowers at each stem would bloom, and I would remove the very cause of gloom. Reasoning power would be added more, whence love would pervade each core. Ah, God, half I resigned over this world to pursue joy, peace, and love. I would paint it with varied hues. Alas, these wishes are limited to me, only to fill my idle moments with glee. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Akshara, wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
As
Very
usual,
well done.
very wonderful. Very wonderful. Seezanky, is your connection proper? And if you could say a little bit about the book. He is all the way from Uganda. If it's proper, then can we hear from you a little bit, Seezanky? No, he's still having some problem, probably. So, Manjoyee, any other kid, student who?
Yes, Davina. Davina, are you there, Davina?
Yes, ma'am.
Very much interested in reciting one of the poems, you know. They are so much into oratory skills. They just enjoy it. And the poem that Akshara, she had selected, it was published in 1994 in the Sentinel newspaper, and the title was Those Bare Wishes, depicting a little girl's wish to control the world with her magic wand. Her dreams of joy, peace, and fun amidst the natural world are only limited to bring happiness in idle moments. And I tried to depict that factor in this poem. Thank you, Akshara. You have really done justice to the poem.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lovely, lovely, Akshara. You just did awesome work reciting it so properly.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Devina Bora, can you please recite one of the lovely poems written by Monjoyee from her book In Pursuit?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Davina Bora, and I'm from Marya's Public School, Guwahati, Assam. Today, I'm going to recite a poem from the book Monjoyee Ma'am published. An Ode to the Lotus. Amidst water bodies, as you bloom in hues of purity, you often proclaim your tale to humanity. As from the treacherous bog, you emerge strong, inspiring humans to cling to the roots and be firm. The muddy bog creates a resilience to evolve, more beautiful and pure, only to divinely offered, to appease the duties so that wishes are bestowed. Recollections of yore, and you brought utter bliss to the lotus eaters whom even Odysseus did seek, standing tall with grandeur despite the unsteady ripples, and a tomb of pure beauty with which divinity mingles. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Davina. So this poem,
Welcome, ma'am.
yes, Davina, it's an eulogy to the lotus, which is a symbol of purity and divinity, though it emerges from the muddy wetlands. It is offered to gods, and earlier it was believed that if devoured, it brought bliss. So similarly, something good and pure emerges from painful situations, and I tried to depict that, making one stand tall, just like the lotus. And the lotus stands amidst the muddy waters with grandeur and resilience, and it is a symbol of beauty forever. And in it, lies the line that Keats had written, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever."
Very true, very true. Thank you. Seezanky,
Beautiful lines.
I can see your comments. If you could speak something, then you need to unmute yourself and speak. Okay, so Rajput sir, coming back to you, because I don't want to keep you waiting also more. I know you are very busy. You had back-to-back so many conferences and you just came back. So I just want to know, since you already read a little bit about the book and and you have wonderfully written that In Pursuit is a delightful book, profoundly soul-stirring and extremely soothing with it. So I just want to know, being working from a different angle, you are the international marketing from Kedla Pharmaceutical, and you are also an author. So I just want to know from you, that does writing heals the soul?
I think it is a $100 million question you have asked. It is very, very true. It comes from your heart, right? And what Veena ma'am was reading about it, was telling about it, 1000% it is true, right? So I'm not the only one person who can endorse it. There are many people in the world who have endorsed this part. It comes from your heart, it comes from your emotions, it comes not many things. It just flows like a beautiful river which flows in the thing, and we can see that that calmness is there, the soothingness is there, right? And it gives you so much of the happiness that when you start reading it, when you start seeing that how the journey has started, right, and how the things are small snips are there with Monjoyee ma'am had added in that, means you can feel that flow which is going on, right? So it's a beautiful, you can see a movie which is going on, which has all the things together, and it really heals. Frankly speaking, it really heals. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And it gives you strength. It not only heals, it gives you a lot of confidence, determination, the strength, and a lot of power, right? Which is there, right? And which is a positive power which gives. And then you can make it happen that, yes, I did it. Now I am very clear about the things. The path is full of, you have taken out all the thorns from that particular roses, right? And only the roses are there where you can have the beautiful fragrance of the things which is there.
So
And then
nice.
you can enjoy. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajput sir, for wonderfully explaining that yes, it's true that writing heals. And the book In Pursuit reveals each and every moment of the life. And we are so much attached, it no longer remains an individual outlook of life. It becomes a wholesome approach towards life. So that is where everyone should grab a copy and read about it and know about how we should deal with life, how we should live life. Poetry expresses every single moment of our life. So congratulations, Monjoyee, once again.
And ma'am, I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah, surely, sure.
There are some people, what Veena ma'am or somebody was also saying, that the people, they are not a good orator, right? But they are a very good writer. They put the things in that, right? So listening that point of view, at the same time, when you start reading, right, or loving these poems, you also find that you are also one of the part of that character. Because it's once upon a time, you faced that thing, and how you came out, what are the things is going on. It's nothing like that. We all are humans are one. We have seen the emotions with the positive emotions, negative emotions. We all have the setbacks and wherever the good things are there. So you can feel that, yes, you are a part of that wonderful character which is there. And once you start feeling it, empathizing it with the character, you start loving it. Then you feel that, yes, I should also do it, because it's also inspire you to aspire further going ahead. The person is making, which Sachini was telling at the 20 years of the age, which I was listening very carefully about it, that yes, it is getting inspiration, right? And the few of the things which is, and at this age, if somebody is getting inspired, right, they are going to make a big, you can say, the milestone in the coming time. That is all about it. So Monjoyee ma'am, it is not only you. You have added, you have inspired lot many people with your beautiful, simple poetry way and the real story of the life, touching the heart of the people, talking with your emotions, talking with the beautiful moment which you have spent, and showing that, yes, how strong you are and how a person should be strong at the different phases of the life. A person should live the life in the beautiful way and inspire the things. So that is all from my side.
So true, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Rajput sir.
Thank you.
As usual, always motivating. Your words are deep inspirational and motivating. Thank you so much for joining in and taking out some time from your busy schedule for us and blessing us Creative Writing Modern Age platform. Also, because we believe that writing heals, saying, speaking, it's not that always writing. So we develop on two skills, writing and speaking. So we always have book launches as well as storytellings. So these are mainly there in our platform. Congratulations, Monjoyee, once again. So is there any other poem reader from your side? Or else we can move on to Sincini for the vote of thanks. Anybody is there for reading the poem?
I think they have left.
Shreya, Shri, Akshita, Anushka is there. I can see Anushka.
Yeah. Anushka, would you like to say something? Anushka?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Anushka, welcome, welcome. Your voice little bit louder.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anushka Datta from Marya's Public School, Guwahati, Assam. Today, I want to recite a short poem for Monjoyee ma'am's success. Congratulations! This wonderful day, a moment of joy, a spring of happiness. This is your first success. This is your new start. Make this awesome, enjoy what you do, and a success will follow as before. Wish you luck. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
Wonderful.
You.
So
Thank
sweet.
you. Yeah.
It feels so good to see all the students talking, about the teacher.
Wow.
That's what I said. That teacher really plays a great role and they really look up to the teacher so much. It's wonderful to hear you, Anushka, Akshara, and Devolina. Wonderful.
Yes, great kids.
In
We're
the
really
spur of the
proud.
moment, she had just written these lines and she was insisting that, ma'am, I just want to say something. Really, so sweet of you, Anushka. That's a very kind gesture.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Anushka, for waiting so long and listening to everyone also. And till the end, we kept you. So thank you so much. Shreyasri, thank you for joining us, and others who were waiting till there. Thank you so much. So, Sincini, can we have the vote of thanks first?
Yes, ma'am. It is my great pleasure to thank each one of you on this occasion on behalf of the Creative Writing Modern Age. I would like to thank Ms. Sharma for being a great author who has given this valuable book to all of us. And with all my due respect, our pillar of strength, Professor Rachna Chakraborty, the founder of Creative Writing Modern Age, along with the team. They all have helped to make this a success as well. And also I would like to thank all the great speakers, the guest speakers, for the generosity they expressed via their words and also their valuable time. And thanks to every one of you who has supported and participated in this occasion and helped us to make this a success. So we have come to the end of the session. So reminding you all to read this great book, this great compilation, and take a message to your life. So until we meet again, thank you, goodbye, and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, Sachini. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Seezanky is ready, so we'll, before ending, because he's trying from when I'm seeing little network issues in Uganda. He's from Uganda joining us, so Sincini, little bit. Yes, Seezanky, please, sir, we would love to listen. He's a great poet and also the Director of External Affairs from Creative Writing Modern Age. So we welcome you, sir. Please, little bit, few lines about In Pursuit by Monjoyee Sarma. You need to unmute yourself, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. In respect, such as Andrew, most people know me as such as Andrew Destiny, and I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I'm a director at External Affairs, Creative Writing Modern Age. I appreciate and I honor everyone for this meeting, especially Professor Russian. Thank you very much. To the film In Pursuit, the book written, I appreciate the writer. It is a positive book that extracts out the emotions and the feelings, the reverse, the contemporary society. Actually, it is so wonderful. Therefore, my total appreciation goes to the writer, the author. Thank you very much. Actually, I've been inspired and I've been motivated by the book. I hope to read it actually even more up to the end. I've been inspired. Actually, I'm also currently writing more 6 books, and I believe by December I will launch them out. But this book here has inspired me to even write more, because the world of writing, I believe by any time, the poets, even the writers, if they could really give us a chance, we'll take over the world by writing. Let us fill the world by writings. Let us fill the world of Greenland to make us poems, writings, Greenland of writing. Therefore, I appreciate everyone and the cooperation, because different writers really take a side and they don't join such meetings. But if we join such meetings for positive mind ideas, we build. Actually, this exhibits where the future is taking us as writers. It shows where we are going and shows the union of success and victory from the writings. Therefore, I won't speak much. I rest my case, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We were
Yeah.
actually waiting for you, Sizzyanki, to listen to you, because you also have written a wonderful review in the book. So that was what we wanted to listen from you also in the book. So this book is actually, once again, to say a revelation of every aspect of life. It's wonderful, precious pearls. Yes, it's collection. Yes, Rajputji. It's like a collection of precious pearls of the life. Yes. Thank you so much, Rajputji.
So, really, ma'am, you know, at every stage of life, we play a different role. And that is exactly revealed. I've tried to reveal that in the book. So I think everybody should buy it, because it's all about how nature can be a motivational force in our lives. So nature has always been a kind of inspiration. So it inspires sensitive people often, you know, just like the romantic poets. They had always depicted the beauty in varied forms, be it Wordsworth, Keats. Like Keats said, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Really, and to me, you know, the snow-capped mountain, when the first sun rays touches its peak, the pink color reflected is a source of wonder, which few people can glimpse. And slowly, as it changes to white, now for the day, it reminds me that beauty is always there in our life, but the ones who put in an extra effort to view life through optimism can find that unique beauty, which is a source of joy forever. So I hope that everybody will grab a copy of the book and celebrate life, because life is beautiful. We need to enjoy every moment of our life. So life has its ups and downs, and we should be stern enough to overcome it. So that's the book. The book is all about.
Yes,
So
lovely. And I really love the poem, Manjuri, which I've called The Mystic Moment, which you have written very nicely, because we have already exceeded time. I don't want to keep our guests waiting. Already I think we are going to be 3 hours. So thank you so much. But I just wanted to read 2 lines from the poem Mystic Moment. It really tells me that how nature, influences our life. The mystic range unfolds the summit, just a tinge of pink before the first sun rays kisses the peak, changing its hue to whiteness. The snow-capped mountain now emerges in purity as two souls from different realms merge to give a colorless hue and feel the divinity. What though a coldness freezes the bodies, true love will stand tall like mountain, which feels more like sun swarmed, like the snow caressing its frozen peak to restore the fragments of sweet moments hidden forever in the mystic mountains. So this poem, which you have written about the nature and the feelings of nature, especially the snow-capped mountains, now emerges in purity. It reveals everything. There is nothing more connectivity as the two souls from different realms are merging together. It really depicts nature at its best. Thank you so much, Manjuri, for making this book. And I would request everyone to grab a copy and write a review as soon as you read it. So thank you all for joining us today and being with us and making this event a grand success. So do visit our page also and encourage creative writing modern age. And because we want more and more such authors to come out and grab the opportunity to express their feelings and get connected with their soul. Writing and speaking always gets you connected to what your soul wants you to do. You might be doing n number of professional work, but at the end of the day, when you start writing, when you start speaking, you just are at your best. So it's a request from everyone. Do grab a copy of this In Pursuit and read it. It's a book for everyone. to nurture the realms you'll be leaving through nature and get connected to your soul. Music and nature, and there is a lot more variety. Until and unless you read the poems, you'll never be able to understand. Congratulations, Monjoyee Sarma, on
ma'am.
great love.
Congratulations, well done. And thank you for a wonderful evening.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone, for
much.
joining us.
Congratulations, congratulations,
Special
congratulations.
thanks. Special thanks to Rachna ma'am and the entire team of Creative Writing Modern Age, and to the wonderful speakers for sparing their valuable time and being with us. Thank you, Sachini, for the vote of thanks and the poems that you had read out. Veena ma'am, a special thanks to you. Seezanky sir, a very special thanks to you too for taking out your time and joining in at the right moment. And to all my students for taking pains and joining in, though it's late time. And today, most of them are having the Janmashtami celebrations. They are having puja at home, so they are unable to connect. Still, everyone's good wishes will be cherished forever. So
all the best in your future journey,
the best,
Monjoyee,
yes.
and
Thank
start
you, ma'am.
writing more
Yes.
and more books to be published by Creative Writing Modern.
Yeah, we are looking forward for more.
Surely. Thank you. Thank you, Rajput.
Bye-bye, everybody, and thank
Bye,
you. It was
everyone.
a pleasure. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure to be here today.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to everyone.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye, good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye.